Look, I saw a tweet from you earlier in the week in which you were calling on people to sign a petition to call for an inquiry into the medical intervention of minors who may be suffering from gender dysphoria. You said, and I quote, that Scandinavia and the United Kingdom have reviewed and introduced limits on the permanent and life-altering surgery and medical treatment protocols for children and adolescents. Australia must do the same because our children deserve better, end quote. Beverly, it seems that our children are in danger. What are you concerned about?
Well, we're very concerned that there is no real evidence that this does solve the problem particularly, but secondly, the long-term effects of pharmaceutical and medical intervention, especially surgical intervention, over the long term of the life of somebody, where they're going to be rendered certainly dysfunctionally sexually, and also there are other health aspects associated with it. So we thought the best way, and the petitioners thought, the best way was for the Legislative Council in Victoria to conduct an inquiry which would be open to experts from all corners of Australia and overseas to put their evidence of why it's a good idea to treat gender dysphoric minors with radical medical intervention, or whether it's not. And so that was the purpose of the petition. But we also had a motion that went up to the Legislative Council this last week, and sadly it was defeated because the Labor Party, the Greens, the Cannabis Party and the Animal Justice Party voted against it. And that would have put the inquiry into the Legislative Council Legal and Social Issues Committee, and we would have been able to establish once and for all the benefits or negative aspects of this form of intervention into the health of minors.
Well, the petition does note that in 10 years, which is not a very long time, there has been a 1,100% increase in children on the waiting list for this gender affirmation surgery. Now, as many have said, this trend can only be explained as a social contagion. There is a strong evidence to support the idea that what we are seeing is mostly made up of a social fad, a trend, if we will. And if that is the case, these children will grow up with regret and permanent damage that they have done to their bodies with no way to fix it, because this sort of thing cannot be reversed. Now, Beverly, the Labor government in Victoria has been very pro-gender affirmation. Do you believe that they need to do more to protect the physical bodies of children, even if it means upsetting the activists?
Well, they absolutely do. The affirmation-only model in Victoria is the problem, because health experts and parents are expected to endorse affirmation to transitioning, as opposed to carefully considering whether, you should give it time pre-puberty to sort out whether you are gender dysphoric. And we've had some detransitioners tell us that eventually they've been diagnosed with autism, not gender dysphoria at all. So there are many issues psychiatrists have told us. Sometimes they're issues in the home. Sometimes they've been abused, that have impacted their thoughts to go down the path of transitioning. And, we need to be very careful about impacting perfectly healthy bodies, actually, with surgical intervention and this chemical intervention, which, as you say, is not reversible. And if you go down the path, you're on these drugs for life.